It's longer time. Yay! Lager time. Poems, stories, and thoughts. By me, Paul Cree. Who else? Greetings, bonjour. What's happening? My name's Paul Cree. Welcome to Lager Time. Lager Time is my fairly regular podcast where I share bits of writing that I've been working on, poems, stories, thoughts, music. Yeah, that kind of thing. So since I brought this back in December, it's been mostly poems and then plus the music from this EP that I'm working on. Still no update on that. Been too busy, but we'll get to that. But today I'm going to do something a little different. Going to do a chapter of a short story. But yeah, before we get into that, hello, what's been going on? Been very busy this week. Lots of running around. I'm working on quite a few different projects at the moment outside of home. So my job really is I go project to project. It's running mostly workshops to do with either poetry or rapping or all of that stuff in a theatre context. So quite often I'm working with actors, or sometimes I'm working with young people who are making a theatre show. Sometimes I'm going into a school and doing poetry writing, something like that. But yeah, I'm working on a few different things at the moment. It's nearly always this way, but it's been really busy. So I'm up at Fourth Monkey Drama School up in North London, working with the acting students there. They're developing a piece based on Macbeth, using all of the beats and elements or hip hop theatre techniques that we teach. So they're creating their own piece. So working with them to do that, been doing a lot of rewrites on the second part of the script for What We Do When We Can't Dance, which is a show being developed with Dream Arts Rep, who I've worked for quite a long time. So that's in development, plus music. And then also I've been working this year at Beatbox Academy. It's an organisation I've worked with on and off for a long time. They're doing a show in May as part of the Battersea Arts Centre Homegrown Festival. And they're doing a version of Lord of the Flies, which is one of my favourite books. So I've been working with them on that as well as doing various other bits and bobs. So this week also, coming up, is a couple of gigs actually. So tomorrow in Covent Garden during the day from I think 11 till about 3:30, I think, I'll be with the Poetry Takeaway in Covent Garden, central London. I think it's St. Martin's Courtyard. So the Poetry Takeaway is a van, like a burger van that's being kitted out. And it's a good gig, it's fun. But you sit there and you take orders to write poems for people all day. So it's kind of like a burger. You order your poem or whatever. So you have a little chat with a person and then you write poems. Done it many, many times. Large Up Michael, who runs that project. But it's this one specifically for St. Patrick's Day. So it's an odd request, but we're only going to be writing in limericks tomorrow. And this week I've been on a train just getting into the practice of writing limericks, not something I've ever done before. It's kind of fun, but yeah, so tomorrow, no idea how it all goes, but if you find yourself in central London and you've got a bit of time to kill, you can come and get a poem and it'll be me or 2 or 3 others. They're normally pretty decent. So I'm doing that. And then Beatbox Academy are doing a performance next Saturday during the day as part of the Wandsworth Borough of Culture celebration. So it'll be somewhere on the river up by Battersea Power Station. That's all I know. But we're doing a set. There'll be some covers. There'll be some original songs, and then a few kind of live improvised jams, and maybe some battles. And the battles are normally fun. So there's that. And then, of course, there's the gig on the 24th, which I've been mentioning every week. Blah, blah, blah. So this is me doing a solo poetry set for Poetry and Poppadums, which is the 24th. And that's also in London at Karamel. Murray Lachlan Young is the headliner. It's not the 24th. What am I talking about? It's 27th. Sorry, Friday 27th, so 2 weeks today. So yeah, I'll be there doing a set for that as well. Okay, so let's get into this. That's a little bit of waffling. So this is the first chapter of a short story I started writing a few months ago. If you've been listening to Lara Time for a few years, there's a few times where I've done short stories with a character called Reece Shaughnessy, who I've written a number of things as Reece or in Reece's voice over the years. It's always a character that I return to. I started doing it in maybe 2010. So there's a bunch of things I've written around Reece and the world that he lives in. So it's a fictional town called Newtown, imaginatively titled Newtown, which is deliberate. And then it's about different phases of his life. So this one, he's a bit older. So he'd be like mid-30s. He's got a solid girlfriend and they're going on holiday. And this first chapter is at the airport when they've just arrived. There's no name, no working title, just Reece on holiday. So I started writing it in October when me and my wife flew out to Cleveland, America for this wedding. We were there in October. So this is in no relation to that, of course. This is a fictional character, but maybe there'll be one or two sentiments that seep in. So Reece, if you a little update, he's kind of like he's not a mess up, but yeah, he's sort of lower middle class guy, grows up in this fictional new town somewhere outside of London. He's always a bit lost. He's not stupid, but he does stupid things. He's a bit cynical and a bit awkward. So it's about him just as a young man really awkwardly trying to navigate his way through the world. Sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it? But there you go. So lots of my experiences pop up into these stories and things that I'm aware of. But anyway, he's a lot more cynical than me. Put it that way. But anyway, this is the chapter 1. So they're at the airport. He needs to liven up. I only want a pint, just one. 1 pint, mate. That's it. It's gone from 4 pints to 3 to 2, and now I'm reduced to 1. 1, mate. I've imposed austerity measures on my hopes, impoverished my joy. I'm desperate. Flight is taking off in 45 minutes, and this prick is taking his sweet time. Podgy, nonchalant, nonce-looking prick, pouring drinks and processing payments like a docile Labrador, occasionally getting up to sniff something and then flopping back down again. I'm meant to be going on holiday. This cunt is already on holiday. We were late getting here, of course, packing and then repacking. Security was long and the missus was fannying about in duty-free, sniffing all the smelly stuff. Everything is a distraction here. She picked up, fingered, and eventually bought a book in Smith's that she'll never read called Speak Your Truth. If I spoke mine, I'd ruin her holiday. Little does she know that she's contributing to the ruination of mine. Her and this ball of Play-Doh that spent too much time on the carpet, who has no care for who is next, nor any sense of urgency. Never a truer word not spoken. There's not a lot that frustrates me more than this. Waiting at a bar. The impatience, the randomness, the anxiety, the inefficiency, the nonchalance, the inattentiveness. My toes are tapping like a junkie's twitch and I'm making beats on this beer-soaked counter with my hands. My neck aches from looking left and right every time this moomin makes a move. Eyes are tired and unable to focus on anything for more than a few seconds. Strip lighting burning the whites of my eyes. This is the bit I was most looking forward to. This bit, mate. The pre-pints. The now. Not Lanzarote, the sun, the sunbeds, the boat tours, the old town. No, mate. It's this. The pre-match warm-up. This is where I feel it. That feeling of being alive. sinking a couple of cold ones to fuel inject my adrenal glands and numb me to the inevitable stress and disappointment that lies ahead. This is holiday mode, mate. Now. And it's fleeting. Those taps could churn out the dregs of the barrel, some nasty watered down student union fare. It wouldn't change it. No way. Nothing would. It will taste amazing. It always does. This bit is the holiday for me. This bit. And my window of bliss is shrinking by the second. Some family just bowled up and got served. I should say something. I'm gonna say something. I say nothing. I'm fuming. I could say something. I should say something. Nothing. I do nothing. It shouldn't be on me to kick off just to get served. The brass of this family too. It's a complex order. They're changing their mind. Calls go back and forth between the seated members. They don't know their table number, and Candice now wants a J2O. The pain. They don't know the pain they are causing. It's the not knowing if and when this is going to happen. It's the paranoia that they're all toying with me, teasing me. The joy is right there in front of me, and I'm reaching out of a stretched arm to grab that joy and embrace it like a winning lottery ticket. But it's slipping away from me, and it's not my fault. And my ribs are hurting. I'm being torn. The future will hurt even more. I know it will. Trust me. From here, it's all downhill, mate. It always is. Lurgies, sunburn, getting ripped off, third world accommodation, unexpected charges on hotel bills, tired feet from dull walks on cobbled streets through the old town. Disappointed missus. It's inevitable and it's all coming at me, dressed in a Larry shirt and wearing a sombrero, doing lines of Chang on the rails of a party boat. I didn't want any of this. It's for her. All of this is for her. This bit is the trade-off, the concession, and the compensation, and they're taking it away from me. Of course, I can't say any of that, can I? This is for us, apparently. Speaking your truth seemingly comes with a lot of terms and conditions. On cue, she walks in, laden with duty-free tat. I'm foreseeing weight issues for when we return. She says we're boarding. We need to go. As in now? It's over. A shrinking ship on the horizon. Then gone. I take one last look at that lethargic prick behind the bar. He's pouring someone else's joy now. He looks up and catches eye contact. Dead eyes. Nothing. Robot. Not even a twinkle of guilt. The killer of dreams. If I knew how to inflict a curse, that prick would be getting multiple pricks in the pincushion. Him, the family, security, and the missus. All in cahoots. They ruined my holiday. My pre-match pint. All of them. That's my truth. Right, there you go. Yeah. It gets a bit lighter than that. I'll tell you that now. But maybe next week I'll read like another chapter from it. That was kind of fun. So there's a couple of these longer stories that I've got sitting in the vault that I want to introduce for these. Once I've got this little poetry book idea done, the next thing is to bring these stories in and maybe put those out as a little book thing and as an audio thing. And there's a couple of, like longer ones. I might just do it chapter by chapter. But anyway, there you go. I hope you're all well out there in Lagerland. That's it for this week. Kind of short and sweet. Yeah, don't forget, you can catch me Poetry Takeaway tomorrow, Covent Garden, Beatbox Academy next week in Battersea by the power station on the riverfront, London Mayor of Culture or whatever it is show. That'll be daytime. And then 2 weeks today, Poetry and Poppadums. You can see me do a solo poetry set Keep it big out there, all right? Keep it larger than life. Peas and taters. Ball.
It's lager time. Yay!
Lager time. Poems, stories and thoughts. By me, Paul Cree.